Most people reach for painkillers the moment they feel an ache. But what if I told you the most powerful pain relief might already be sitting in your spice rack right now? I'm Sarah, and 8 years ago, I would have never believed you if you had told me I wouldn't need to reach for my pharmaceuticals again. In fact, I challenged my natural health practitioner on that same concept, and I was full of skepticism. He set out to prove me wrong, and boy, did he ever. Now I'm so thankful I know there's a better way that actually heals instead of just covering up symptoms like a Band-Aid. But here's the crazy part. After discovering what I'm about to share with you today, I haven't touched a single pharmaceutical since then. Not one. And I'm not talking about just managing the symptoms. I'm talking about actually feeling better than I have in decades. Today, we're diving into natural remedies, and I'm not talking about woo-woo wellness trends that your hippie aunt posts on Facebook or expensive supplements that promise miracles but deliver nothing. These are clinically studied, time-tested remedies that have been helping people for centuries. We're talking about solutions that can sit right next to your conventional meds or even replace them over time, if that's what you choose. But here's what most people don't know about natural remedies. There's actually science to why these work, and more importantly, how to use them correctly so you don't waste more money on ineffective products. So if you've ever wondered how to erase chronic symptoms without wrecking your gut, destroying your liver, or losing your peace of mind worrying about those side effects, this one's for you. Because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit of natural alternatives that actually work. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to use each one for maximum effectiveness. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that most symptoms come from one root cause that the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know about. Because if you knew this, then you'd realize that you don't need half the medications they're selling you. It is inflammation. And while over-the-counter and prescription pharmaceuticals, they mask those symptoms, literally putting a Band-Aid over a broken pipe, these natural remedies actually address the inflammation at its source. Let me tell you about turmeric, nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory. The active compound is called curcumin, and here's what blew my mind. Studies show it's as effective as ibuprofen for reducing pain, but without the stomach damage, the liver stress, or the cardiovascular risks. But here's the secret most people miss, and this is why so many people try turmeric and say, it doesn't work, right? Turmeric doesn't work alone. You need to take it with black pepper. The black pepper increases absorption by a whopping 2,000%. I've seen this help people with arthritis, muscle pain, even psoriasis. My neighbor Janet was scheduled for knee replacement surgery. She'd been on the waiting list for 8 months, taking prescription painkillers daily just to function. But after 6 months of taking turmeric with black pepper daily, her pain dropped from an 8 to a 3. Her doctor was so shocked, he delayed the surgery to see if the improvement would continue. That was 2 years ago, and Janet is still surgery-free. The key is getting a high-quality turmeric supplement with at least 95% curcuminoids and taking it with a meal that contains some fat. This is going to increase absorption even more. But turmeric isn't the only natural painkiller hiding in plain sight. There's something that's been called nature's aspirin for over 2,000 years. And it's so effective that modern aspirin was actually created to mimic it. What is it? It's willow bark, and it's literally where aspirin came from. But here's the difference. While synthetic aspirin can tear up your stomach lining and increase your risk of bleeding, willow bark is gentle on your digestive system because it contains natural compounds that protect your stomach while delivering the pain relief. This stuff is incredible for things like headaches, menstrual cramps, and even post-surgery recovery. And then there's CBD oil. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking that it's some trendy wellness fad, hear me out. CBD interacts with your body's endocannabinoid system. Yes, you have one, and it's specifically designed to regulate pain, inflammation, mood, and sleep. The key with CBD is consistency and quality. You can't just take it when you're in pain and expect miracles. It works best when taken daily, building up in your system over time. And not all CBD is created equal. You want full-spectrum CBD from a reputable company that provides third-party lab testing. I started with 10 milligrams twice daily and worked up to 25 milligrams. Within 3 weeks, my baseline pain level dropped significantly, and I was sleeping better than I had in years. But what if I told you there are plants out there that are so powerful they can literally mimic prescription medications, but without the side effects that come with those synthetic drugs? Take devil's claw. Sounds scary, right? But this African plant is backed by serious research for reducing osteoarthritis pain and improving mobility. In one study published in the European Journal of Pain, people taking devil's claw had the same pain reduction as those taking prescription anti-inflammatories, but without the gastrointestinal side effects. The active compounds in devil's claw actually inhibit the same inflammatory pathways that prescription NSAIDs target, but they do it gently and with added additional benefits like improved digestion. Then there's birch leaf, which actually mimics cortisone in your body. It eases muscle spasms, it improves skin conditions, and it boosts circulation. Use birch leaf tea if you're noticing things like back pain creeping in. It's like having a gentle, natural steroid that doesn't suppress your immune system. And here's one that might surprise you: capsaicin from chili peppers. It works by temporarily numbing your pain signals through something called substance P depletion. Basically, it exhausts those nerves that send all those pain messages to your brain. It's especially good for nerve pain, even headaches, when you apply it to the right spot. I use a capsaicin cream on my neck and my shoulders after long days at the computer. Just do not touch your eyes after using it. Trust me on that one. You don't want to learn that lesson the hard way. Now, what I'm about to share with you next are the everyday heroes that are sitting in your kitchen right now that most people have no idea are powerful pain relievers, and some of these are more effective than over-the-counter medications. Peppermint oil is like a Swiss Army knife for pain relief. Things like headaches, muscle soreness, even digestive issues. This stuff handles it all. The menthol in peppermint oil creates a cooling sensation that actually blocks those pain signals, and it increases blood flow to the area. But here's the important part. Always dilute it. Pure peppermint oil will burn the skin. It is a hot oil. Mix 2 to 3 drops with a carrier oil like coconut oil, and then rub it on your temples for headaches. It works faster than any pill I've ever taken, but again, do not get it in your eyes. For muscle soreness, I add a few drops to a warm bath, or I mix it with Epsom salts. There's actually a study that showed peppermint oil applied to the forehead was as effective as acetaminophen for tension headaches. And unlike acetaminophen or Tylenol, it doesn't stress your liver. But here's something even more surprising that's probably in your fridge right now. Something most people only think of as a dessert topping, but it's actually one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatories. Are you curious? Cherries. Not just any cherries, tart cherries. Specifically, tart cherries. They're natural anti-inflammatories that actually block the same pain enzymes that ibuprofen targets. But they also provide antioxidants and they help improve sleep quality. Studies show people with arthritis who drink tart cherry juice daily have significantly less pain and better sleep. The anthocyanins in tart cherries are what give them their deep red color, and they're incredibly powerful at reducing inflammation. Not only does it help with lingering aches from the day-to-day stuff that you encounter, but I sleep deeper and I wake up more refreshed. And cranberry juice. Yes, the same stuff you drink for UTIs can actually help reduce stomach ulcers by stopping harmful bacteria from sticking to your gut lining. This is huge if you've been taking NSAIDs like ibuprofen that have damaged your stomach over time. The key is getting pure cranberry juice, not the sugar-loaded cocktail versions that you find at the store. I know it's Tart, but you can dilute it with water or you can mix it with that Tart cherry juice that I just mentioned. But I saved the most powerful ones for last. These are the heavy hitters that most people have never heard of, but they're used by naturopathic doctors and functional medicine providers all over. Boswellia. This resin from the Boswellia tree is incredibly powerful for arthritis and even digestive inflammation like Crohn's disease. It works by blocking specific inflammatory pathways called 5-LOX that other natural remedies can't touch. What makes Boswellia special is that it doesn't just reduce inflammation, it actually helps rebuild damaged cartilage. In studies, people taking Boswellia showed improvement in joint function within just 90 days. Bromelain comes from pineapples and is amazing for post-injury swelling and bruising. It's proteolytic enzyme, which means it breaks down proteins, including the proteins involved in inflammation and blood clots. I had a client who used bromelain after dental surgery and healed twice as fast as expected. Her dentist was amazed at how quickly the swelling went down and how fast she healed. It even helps with TMJ. I have several clients who take it daily for jaw pain. Next up is Aquamin, which comes from red seaweed. It's rich in bioavailable calcium and magnesium in the exact ratios that your body needs. In clinical trials, people with arthritis saw a 20% reduction in pain in just 30 days. What makes Aquamin different from regular calcium supplements is that it contains over 70 trace minerals that work synergistically. Your body recognizes it as food, not a synthetic supplement, so absorption is much higher. And finally, Arnica. This should be in every natural medicine cabinet. It speeds up recovery from soreness and injury and bruising and swelling like nothing else I've ever seen. I use Arnica gel on bruises, sore muscles, even minor sprains. The swelling goes down faster, the pain resolves quicker, and the bruising goes away. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds too good to be true, right? How can plants be as effective as medications that took millions of dollars to develop? Here's something most people don't realize. Almost every pharmaceutical drug is modeled after a natural compound. Drug companies don't invent healing, they copy it. They study plants and herbs and compounds that have been around for centuries, like willow bark for pain or foxglove for heart conditions. Then they isolate one active ingredient, they alter it synthetically, and then they patent it. The problem? When you strip nature down to just one component, you lose the synergy, you lose the balance, and that's when the side effects show up. Nature didn't mess this up, we did as humans. The real power has always been in natural medicine. Modern pharma just tried to package it. We've been conditioned to believe that if it's natural, it must be weak, and if it's synthetic, it must be strong. That's simply not true. Here is a powerful truth for you, though. The long-term side effects from conventional meds that nobody talks about until it's too late, the stomach ulcers that require more medications to treat, the liver damage that shows up in blood tests years later, the dependency that develops when your body stops producing its own pain-fighting compounds, the fact that they stop working as well over time, requiring higher and higher doses with more and more side effects. I'm not saying you should throw away your prescription medications tomorrow. I'm saying you now have options, real options that have been healing people for thousands of years. Here's what I want you to do. Pick just one thing to swap out in your medicine cabinet. Maybe it's turmeric capsules instead of ibuprofen for your next headache. Maybe it's peppermint oil for muscle soreness. Maybe it's Tart cherry juice before bed instead of a sleep aid. Start small, build naturally. Give your body time to respond. Most of these remedies work better over time as they build up in your system and they address the root cause rather than just masking those symptoms and putting a Band-Aid on them. And if you've found this helpful, please share it with someone who's ready to ditch the pills and take their power back naturally. Because everyone deserves to live without pain And everyone deserves to know they have choices.